Would you believe this? There was a woman with 8 different names and 8 different passports, and a wristwatch secretly stopped at exactly 10 past 10. She spoke broken German, claimed to be Belgian, and used a phrase that hadn't existed since the Nazi occupation. Then she disappeared into the most remote valley in Norway, and somehow set herself on fire with absolutely nothing to start that fire with. For over 50 years, nobody could figure out who she was. But in 2025, new clues finally surfaced, and they point somewhere nobody expected. Bergen, Norway. A cold Sunday morning. A father is out hiking with his 2 young daughters, 10 and 12 years old, through a valley the locals don't call by its real name. They call it Isdalen, the Valley of Death. The terrain here is brutal, steep, rocky, and almost impossible to reach without knowing the path, which is exactly what makes what happens next so strange. One of the girls wanders off the trail, and there, nestled in a pile of volcanic rock, she sees something that will stay with her for the rest of her life. A body, face up, almost completely burned. Her features melted beyond recognition. There's no clothing left intact, no visible identity. Nothing, except a story that's about to get a lot stranger. Police arrive, and almost immediately, something feels wrong. Every single label had been cut out of her clothes, not torn off in the fire, deliberately removed before she died. Near her body, an empty bottle of liquor, a box of matches, 2 water bottles, and a wristwatch, frozen at exactly 10 past 10. Investigators later realize it probably never worked at all. There's no container for gasoline, no accelerant anywhere nearby. So the question nobody can answer is simple. How does a woman set herself on fire, alone, in the middle of nowhere, with nothing to start the fire with? They don't know it yet, but this is only the beginning. Days later, police make a breakthrough. 2 suitcases sitting in a locker at the Bergen train station. Fingerprints on a pair of sunglasses inside match the body. Inside, clothing. Labels removed just like before. 2 wigs. Glasses with completely clear fake lenses. A prescription cream. The label scratched off there too. And one more thing. A notepad filled with handwritten codes. Letters and numbers. In a pattern no one can crack. But here's where it gets even stranger. Police send her sketch to hotels across Norway, and they discover she wasn't just passing through. She had stayed in Oslo, Trondheim, Stavanger, Bergen, for months, using 8 completely different names. Genevieve Lancier, Claudia Tielt, Vera Jarl, Alexia Zarna Merches. Every single one, a fake Belgian identity. Every passport number, for a person who never existed. Hotel staff remembered her. Well-dressed, quiet, a little exotic looking, dark hair, a noticeable gap in her front teeth, and a strange, heavy perfume that some staff swore was garlic. She claimed to be Belgian, but she filled out every form in German, broken German, with mistakes no native speaker would make. At one point, she listed her passport office as Brussel Kreisleitung. That's not just a mistake. That's a term that only existed during the Nazi occupation of Belgium, 3 decades earlier. Witnesses saw her meeting a mysterious man in Bergen more than once. They never spoke. They never smiled. One time, they sat in a hotel room together in complete silence. Who was she meeting? Nobody knows. Nobody ever found him. Just 3 weeks after the body was found, police held a press conference. A journalist asked the obvious question. Was she a spy? The lead investigators answer. We can rule that out with certainty. Case closed. Officially ruled a probable suicide. But here's the problem. The full toxicology report hadn't even come back yet. When it finally did, it showed she'd swallowed 50 to 70 sleeping pills. a rare pink variety sold only in England, not Norway. Soot was found deep in her lungs, which means one horrifying fact. When the fire started, she was still breathing. For decades, the case sat closed until the son of the original lead investigator broke his silence. His name is Knut Hordnes, and in 2025, he said something his own father never would. "I don't think it was a suicide. I think the woman was killed." He remembers something that changed everything: a Mossad assassination in Norway, just 3 years after the Isdal Woman died. Proof that foreign intelligence agencies really were operating and killing on Norwegian soil. Suddenly, the espionage theory didn't sound so impossible anymore. And a new investigation traced her travel dates to Paris at the exact same time as a Swiss banker linked to Palestinian militants, and a secret buried deal involving Norwegian nuclear material bound for Israel. In February 1971, they buried her. No name on the headstone, because there was no name to give her. Only police officers attended. But someone made one decision that still matters today. They buried her in a zinc coffin, built to last, in case one day someone came to claim her. Her DNA still exists, preserved, waiting. But Norwegian law won't allow it to be run through the same genealogy databases that cracked cases like the Golden State Killer. So for now, she waits. Whoever she was, a spy, a courier, a woman running from something we'll never understand, she went to extraordinary lengths to erase herself. And in the end, she succeeded. If you know anything, if any of this sounds familiar, Norwegian police still want to hear from you. Because somewhere, someone knows who she was. If you want more unsolved mysteries like this one, subscribe, because this channel exists for exactly one reason: to make sure stories like hers are never forgotten.